Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kyndall, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a review of Hamilton the musical. Hamilton just became available to stream on DisneyPlus, I believe almost 3-ish weeks ago, and I'm going to give y'all my honest review. So I'm going to go over, like the storyline and songs, all that jazz. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get on into the video. Okay guys, so before we get into talking about my review and my thoughts on everything, I just want to say I literally loved every single bit of Hamilton. And if you are one of those people who has said Hamilton is not good, why are you lying? Because you can say a whole lot of things about Hamilton, but the one thing that you can't say is that it's not good, because that is a lie. Hamilton is so good, and just give it a chance. I've seen some slander on King George, and I'm not really with it. I find King George's parts to be comedic relief almost. And if you're but he's spitting. Let me tell you something about musicals. Let me tell you something about theater. Actors and actresses and singers and all that, obviously there's going to be some spit flying if you're talking or singing or whatever. That is the point. And King George III was crazy. He was a lunatic. And he also foamed at the mouth. So Jonathan Groff, who played King George, was singing with the wettest lips to kind of mimic the fact that King George would foam at the mouth. So I just want to get that out the way. Any Hamilton slander, please, it will be deleted. I don't want to see it. Hamilton is so good. But I'm also up for debates. Let's talk about it, Okay. So my main overarching point of this video is for me to say that I think Hamilton was very fake, because he literally did everybody in his life wrong, including his friends and his family. If he had a dog, he probably did the dog wrong too. I don't know. But I just don't understand. We learn about Alexander Hamilton in the very first song, Alexander Hamilton. We learn about him. We learn that he's an immigrant. He was born in Nevis. We learn about his family life and his past life, and I just want to say the opening number is beautiful because it's just storytelling, the ensemble is in the background dancing and mimicking his mom and his dad splitting and his cousin. Just visually stunning. In the end, when they're all singing together, the whole cast is singing. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And then we go into Aaron Burr, sir, and that's how we learn about Aaron Burr and also Hercules, Mulligan, John Lawrence, and Lafayette. And those are clearly Alexander's friends at the beginning. And I just don't understand how when we progress through the whole musical, it's Aaron Burr obviously is the enemy and he's supposed to be the villain, but in my opinion I think it's Alexander Hamilton. And we can debate, we can talk about it, but I just feel Aaron Burr was a little misunderstood. Even his three friends, Lafayette, John Lawrence, and Hercules Mulligan, he literally just forgot about them. I mean, what happened? Obviously they all died. John Lawrence, obviously he died even before he actually died or was killed. He was murdered. Even before then, he literally went in a duel to save Alexander Hamilton. He could have died. John Lawrence was literally willing to put his life on the line for you. And then one thing about John Lawrence, if you watch then but if you don't, I'm gonna tell you, John Lawrence was he really wanted to emancipate the slaves, and he wanted to start the first Black battalion, which I never learned about that. I never learned about John Lawrence, didn't know who he was until I watched Hamilton. And I just want to say I found that amazing. But what I'm getting at is when he died and his father wrote a letter saying he died, Alexander Hamilton was oh my gosh, I have so much to do. But what didn't he do? He didn't do enough for the slaves. Nope. If that was your friend, even John Lawrence was you're the closest friend I have, Alexander. We are brothers. And you're not gonna even vouch? Huh? Like, make that make sense for me, because I don't understand. And then Lafayette. We learn Lafayette is also an immigrant. He is from France, and he comes over to help them win the Revolutionary War. And when Lafayette says, oh, in Yorktown, the Battle of Yorktown, the song, he says, I'm gonna go back to France and like free my people. And what does Alexander Hamilton say? He says, oh, we'll be right there when you do it. But in Cabinet Battle number 2, when Thomas Jefferson was like, when they were deciding whether or not they should go in and help France, Alexander Hamilton was like, nah, like, we don't need to do that. Like, why should we get involved in their business? Like, we just got done winning our war. Like, why would we go and, you know, get in another fight or in another battle? Which, you know, yeah, like, that makes sense. Like, we're tired. Like, we can't do it anymore. But, like, this is your friends over there. And Thomas Jefferson is like, what about Lafayette, Hamilton? Like, aren't y'all friends? And then Alexander Hamilton is like, bro, like, why are you even bringing up Lafayette to me? Like, I was his friend first. Like, why are you bringing him up? And that's exactly the point. Like, he is your friend. You should want to help him. Like, not just leave. They just left France out there to dry. Like there was no help whatsoever. And I find that quite fake. Like I said, the whole John Lawrence thing keeps bringing up slavery in basically every single song that he's in, where he has a solo. Like in the song My Shot, that is such an empowering song, and I really like that one. I really feel like I could go fight in the battle too, you know, just like, it's just powering, like just seeing everybody on stage. It's just such a good number, really. The whole like rise up part. Anthony Ramos, who plays John Lawrence, he did an amazing job. Like, his character was so loud. But that's what I love about it. Like, he had an amazing solo in My Shot, and I really like that a lot. You guys, the Schuyler sisters.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping.
We have Angelica, we have Eliza, and Peggy. And I'm gonna need y'all to stop, like, give Peggy her credits. This is Jasmine Cephas-Jones's world, and we're all just living in it. Like, this is a Jasmine Cephas-Jones stan account, by the way, if you weren't aware, and she's amazing. If you guys haven't listened to her EP Bluebird, you should. It's so good. Schuyler sisters, this is where we learn about the Schuyler sisters, and this was such a fun number. I mean, the 3 women just sang that song, like, wow. Like, they sang it, like, the runs and the harmonies, like, everything just together was so pleasing to my ears. I loved it so much. Just beautiful. Like, Renee and Phillippa, Renee plays Angelica and Phillippa plays Eliza. Like, their voices, like, all their voices are just so powerful and so different, but so good. Woo, wow. We already talked about the king, so I'm not going to talk about his first entrance, but like I said, Jonathan Groff, who plays King George, wow. Like, talking about making a character like come alive, you know, like, I mean, it was fantastic. Like, how could you guys not like the king? I don't understand. I guess it's like lack of taste, or, you know, you just don't have flavor in your life, but please, like, wow. Okay, so then after that, we meet Mr. George Washington, aka Christopher Jackson. And y'all, let me tell you something. Christopher Jackson, Right Hand Man, isn't even his best song, and that's like the craziest thing to me. But his entrance, crazy. His entrance has so much energy into it. The like, we are outgunned, like that whole part, and then the end where he like and his right hand man, and he raises up his sword. I love that. I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it. And not to mention, during that song, Aaron Burr, played by Leslie Odom Jr., we'll get to him, came in to talk to George Washington, and he just got dismissed. Like, I'm sorry, Aaron Burr just kept getting disrespected, and that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. So we move on to Helpless, and this is when like Eliza and Alexander meet for the first time, and it's such a cute number. But you don't know what I noticed in the background. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware, most of you probably are, but Anthony Ramos and Jasmine Cephas-Jones are actually engaged in real life. And in the background, they're actually like dancing together when, you know, like the whole ensemble is like dancing. They're like the last couple dancing, and I was just like, that is just the cutest thing ever. I loved it. I love Helpless. I think it's just like the sweetest song, and I love how it's like 4 minutes and 15 seconds maybe. Oh, 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And I just love the story. Just like this is how we met, this is how I saw him, I really liked him, and then now we're married. Ha, crazy. Satisfied is next, you guys, and Satisfied, this is like one of the best songs ever in this musical. It's the best. It's truly the best. And Renee ate it all the way up. She ate it all the way up. There's no other way to describe what Renee did. Like, not only did she sing, like she was singing, she was rapping, and rapping like so fast. Like, and she also had the best rap. Like, debate amongst yourselves, but I think Angelica had the best rap, and you can truly see the emotions in her face, like when she was singing that. And not to mention, shout out to John Lawrence, aka Anthony Ramos, at the beginning of Satisfied. That was funny. Loved that, because there's always that one person at a wedding who's like, all right, like that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's always like that one person, and it was just perfect. It was perfect. Everything about it is perfect. Next thing that I really wanted to talk about was Wait For It, and how this is honestly like one of the songs that I truly like relate to. Leslie Odom Jr. I have no notes for him. Like, the whole show, it's no surprise that he won like so many awards for it, period. But just the way that like his voice is just so smooth, and his tone is just so clear. Leslie, he sang that song like when he was like Hamilton. He just takes and he takes and he takes. Like, I just felt that, because it's like, you're right, Burr, he does. He has used everybody. And what have you gotten? Nothing. You haven't gotten anything for it, and that's not fair. Especially when Hamilton went to you first. Nope, it's not fair at all. And that would be enough. Eliza literally just wanted to be with Hamilton. She just wanted him to acknowledge her. She just wanted him to be with her, and he just wouldn't listen. Like listen to your wife, man. Like nothing is more important than your family. And if he couldn't see that, obviously he's trash. Obviously. And it's just like, she just wanted to be his wife. Like, that was enough for her to not even worry about money, and not even worry about having a legacy, but just wanting to be his wife. And he couldn't even respect her enough to grant her her wish. Like, I just can't. I just can't. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is Mr. Daveed Diggs, and we're not even getting into his Thomas Jefferson. We're talking about him as Lafayette in Guns and Ships. Now, once again, we have one of Lafayette's friends vouching for Hamilton, telling George Washington, look, you need to get Hamilton back. Call him, you know, do what you need to do, but you need to get Hamilton back. And like I said, what does Hamilton do? Just leaves him out there in Paris just to be alone by himself. Doesn't even help him. When he's over here vouching to your boss, who just like told you you're done. He told you you're done. And what did he do? Lafayette told George Washington, you need to get your right-hand man back. I just find it disrespectful. And once again, Christopher Jackson as George Washington comes in at the end of that song, just sings it beautifully, you know? The harmonies at the end, just chef's kiss. Battle of Yorktown is one of the best songs, and this is why. Because it is a story. This is like the facts, and this is actually like what happened in real life, the Battle of Yorktown. And it's beautiful. I mean, when Hercules Mulligan comes in with that energy, y'all know the part I'm talking about when he comes in. I mean, wow. It's just such a beautiful choreography, and the ensemble did an amazing job. And then it's like, boom, we want more. Great. It's just like the harmonies at the end. Wow, so good. Okay, now I'm going to talk about Dear Theodosia. I have no notes for Leslie, really. Again, no notes for him. Sweet song about how a father's love for their children. That is just, I mean, it's beautiful. Can we talk for a second about the Lauren's like interlude slash like Tomorrow There'll Be More of Us. It's not included in the soundtrack. Why? Why? I know he literally only says Tomorrow There'll Be More of Us, but the way Anthony Ramos sings that song, it's almost like disrespectful for it to not be included in the soundtrack. That's all I have to say. I mean, Lawrence, the letter was beautiful. As I stated, he wanted to emancipate 3,000 black men for the first Black battalion, and that dream like died with him, like, whew. And the whole like the way that he looked like a ghost, oh my god, so powerful. And then we close out with Nonstop, and that is one of the best closers of the act I've ever seen. It's like, once again, we got Hamilton going up to Burr asking him for help. Like, that's nothing new. Again, no notes for Leslie. And then Angelica's over here, hey, like, I'm married, but like still right, like we can still talk, you know, like even though I'm married and he's rich and we're going all the way to London, still send letters. Like, why not, you know? Like, come on, girl, like stop messing around with your sister's husband. And the end where everybody is singing their own like song, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Then we open up act number 2 with Mr. David Diggs as Thomas Jefferson. And what did I miss? Let me tell you, he took his hair out of his Lafayette ponytail. He let his scalp breathe. And what did he do? He gave a performance. That performance is one of the most inspiring performances I've ever seen. Just the way he commanded the stage, just everybody give it up. Like, here's Thomas Jefferson, and he just like, hey y'all, like I'm here, like what I missed, what's popping, like oh my god, I've been over here in Paris having a blast. I mean, just a moment of silence for that. Fantastic. I mean, I have no comments about it at all. So I'm gonna skip the cabinet battle just because that is just like, you know, it's really creative on Lin's part to make the cabinet battle like a rap battle type of situation. But when Hamilton was like, we really know who's doing the planting, like,
and
I know I've been clocking Hamilton a lot in this video, but he might have made some points there to Thomas Jefferson. If you know, you know. But all right, so we get into the part of take a break. Alexander Hamilton, like I just need you to listen to Eliza just once. I promise you it's not that hard to listen to your wife. But here comes 9-year-old Phillip looking like and it's just like, Angelica girl, why are we still sending letters to your sister, the sister who you claim you love and adore? Why are we still doing that? Like, why are we still flirting? And it's just like, when they were singing about going to the lake and stuff, that was beautiful. But at the end of the day, like, why didn't he go? He only didn't go because he had work, and that ended up to getting him in trouble. Like, he should just listen. Now again, like I said, this is a Jasmine Cephas-Jones stan account.
she's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
And in Say No to This, one of the top songs of the whole show, really. The switch from Peggy to Mariah Reynolds, chef's kiss. Because, you know, Peggy kind of had like that high voice. We didn't really hear much from Peggy, right? And then Mariah comes in with this like deep, soulful, like built-in like voice. Like, this is just Jasmine's world and we are all living in it. And for him to say the first thing out of Alexander's mouth was longing for Angelica and missing my wife. How can you say that? What sense does that make? Oh, I wish I had Angelica, but I miss Eliza. What? And it's just like the mess of it all, because like you could have said no to Mariah Alexander. We're talking to you. You could have said no to her, but you didn't. And you kept saying yes. So if I was James Reynolds, guess what? I'd be like, you can keep on doing what you're doing, but it's gonna have to come at a hefty fee. Hefty. Like, how does that make sense? And then it's like, he's gonna blame Mariah Like, it literally just takes two to tango, so you cannot go and blame her once her husband is like, bro, you can keep doing it, but it's gonna cost you money, like, whatever, you know? Ugh. But anyway, the singing in that song is fantastic. It's just dramatic. I mean, Hamilton is like watching an episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, there's so much drama in it. It's juicy, it's tea. I mean, it's like, ooh, he did what? Fantastic, love it all. Next thing that I want to talk about is like the best performance in every single possible way. But that is Room Where It Happens, and let's talk about it because Leslie Odom Jr. once again murders it. You know, I really like that song because it's true. It's like we really, as us regular folks who are not in like, who hold positions of office, we don't know what's going on. We don't really have a say, even though they're like, we're the voice of the people. We don't really have a say. But it's just one of the best performances. And when he like jumps on the table and the tablecloth comes out over it, ooh, that's good. And then when it slows down, ooh, chills. Now, can we talk about how Alexander is gonna judge Burr for running against his father-in-law, Mr. Schuyler? He's like, why would you do that? Why would you run against my father-in-law? Sir, aren't you like kind of running against your own wife? How would the father-in-law feel about that? You're cheating on his daughter. I mean, that's all I gotta say. That is all I got to say. But when James Madison, Thomas Jefferson, and Aaron Burr all like team up together to be like, we're gonna take Hamilton down. That was funny. That was funny. All right. And one last time, can we talk about how just George Washington was just tired and Christopher Jackson was just singing, his tone, his runs, everything about that performance. It's his best performance in the movie and on the soundtrack, in my opinion. But I have no notes for him. George Washington was like, peace, 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 peace. I'm out of here. Like, y'all can do it. I'm done. Then, you know, we get to We Know, and that's when the three, Aaron Burr, James Madison, and Thomas Jefferson are like, Hamilton, we've got some receipts, and looks like you've been embezzling money. And Hamilton's like, I've been cheating on my wife. And it's just like that's the craziest thing. And the craziest thing even more is the fact that he released the Reynolds pamphlets talking about his little torrid affair with Mariah Reynolds. Like, I just don't understand how he thought that would like protect his image when literally ruined everything for like his family. I think that was really unnecessary. And then it's like the audacity for him to even think that Angelica came back for him. It's the audacity for me. Like, yeah, sure, Angelica was doing some, you know, wrong things that she shouldn't have been doing, but at the end of the day, that's still her sister, and she doesn't want her sister to get cheated on, period. Ooh, burn, y'all. Miss Phillipa, she sang that, and you know what? Just poor Eliza. Girl's going through it. When she had said like, and when you were mine, the world seemed to burn, like that really like punched me in the heart, because it's like the whole time she thought she was his, she was like in love with him, like she just wanted to be with him, and then she burned those letters. I was like, girl, I would do the same. Watch them burn, watch them burn. And then once again, we have Hamilton giving bad advice and telling his son that he should aim up to the sky while in a duel, which ended up getting Phillip killed. Because why? Hamilton gave him bad advice. He did his own son dirty. I mean, how are you gonna go to a duel and not expect like the other person to shoot their gun? Like, I explain that to me, please, because I really want to know. I want to know. And then it's like, once again, poor Eliza. Oh, that was such a powerful scene. The Stay Alive reprise, that was so sad. She came running in, but like, it's like her firstborn died because why? He took your husband's god-awful advice. And then it's like, It's Quiet Uptown came, and then it was just straight tears, forgiveness, just straight tears. Like, the only reason why I think like Eliza decided to stay is because they just couldn't go through that death alone. Like, you know, they lost their first son They couldn't go through that alone. It was just really a beautiful scene. And then like we're circling back to the whole Hamilton is fake thing with the election of 1800, and this election is between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr. So you're telling me that Aaron Burr, who you have claimed to be your friend the entire show, and then Thomas Jefferson, who just came in Act 2, you were like, I don't like him. We don't believe in any of the same things. I don't like him. But then you're gonna go ahead and endorse him and give him your vote instead of Aaron Burr, who you claim to be friends with. Fake. Like, make that make sense to me, Alexander. Please come here. Please come here and explain that. I don't know. So then, you know, Burr is just fed up with constant disrespect from Hamilton. First of all, Hamilton kept asking Burr for advice, and he's just fed up. He's like, I am done with you. Like, he was like, you know what? I'm tired of the disrespect. And Hamilton was like, well, I got 30 years of disagreements right here. Read them. And you know what? Burr was like, you know what? Fine, pull up. Let's duel. Let's duel. And that's what they do. Once again, Hamilton takes his god-awful advice, shoots up into the sky. Burr missed. Burr, you know, he didn't miss, clearly. Killed Hamilton. But it's like, Burr's reasoning kind of does make sense, because he said like he didn't want to make an orphan of his daughter, and that's just sad, you know. But like, then he realized like, dang, maybe there was space for the both of us. And we get to the end, and wow, who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Tears. Eliza literally went through so much to the point that this is her story. It is not about Alexander Hamilton. It's not about him. It's about Eliza, who continued the story. She said that she took herself out of the narrative and she put herself back into the narrative. Why? So she can tell this story. I give her credit. The parts where we have the soldiers in the back, and she's like, I interview every soldier who fought by your side, and she was like, and they were like, she tells our story, chills. Like, I'm literally getting goosebumps right now talking about it. And then even with how she raised funds for the Washington Monument, and George Washington was like, she tells my story. And then she was like, well, who's gonna tell my story? Like, will they tell my story? Like, that is powerful, because you don't know. And I'm so glad that Hamilton really like brings awareness to like the women behind it all, you know. Like, without Eliza and her continuing to tell the story of like the founding fathers, we probably wouldn't have known that much. We wouldn't have known. And it's just, you know, just beautiful. The whole Broadway performance is something that I really need to see in person. You know, like, obviously watching it on TV does not do it enough justice, but it's close enough. And I want to say, like, I really appreciate Disney for putting it on DisneyPlus, because I feel like nowadays, or always, Broadway has been some of this like elitist like class, like only a small amount of people get to go and watch Broadway shows, especially in New York on Broadway. So for them to put it on DisneyPlus and allow like the whole world to see it and to learn about it and learn about how the flaws that these people had is just amazing. And also for the entire cast of Hamilton to be predominantly, you know, people of color and brown people, it's just so important, you know, because like they said, like, this is the story told of America today, and this is America today. We are America. This is what America looks like, and the whole story is beautiful. I know I might say Hamilton was fake, but you know, he had some pretty solid advice or ideas. They all did, but it's just interesting, you know. Go research it, go watch it, learn about it, and let me know what you guys think. All right, you guys, so that is it for my Hamilton review. As you can probably tell, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, it's fantastic. So let's talk about it. Leave comments down below. If you've seen Hamilton, what did you like? What did you not like about it? Let me know. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also let me know if you want me to do like more reviews on like movies or TV shows or songs or albums or anything like that, because I will. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.